Hey, I'm gonna dive into an issue today um, that is sweeping, I think, the country and gaining a lot of attention in terms of a need in public schools or schools across the country for that matter, and that's student attendance. And there's so many different layers to this that can be unpacked um, and addressed at the district level to improve your district's attendance. And I want to do a series here where maybe we talk about the top 10 things that we've kind of seen work in terms of improving those attendance rates at districts that subscribe to us or even other places. I've learned so much in having conversations with attendance leaders, not just within our own state, but nationally and globally. That I think there's a consistent movement across really the world in terms of education and getting kids back to school. And it's exciting to see that movement grow. And very excited to kind of contribute to that and explain to you the things that we've learned along the way in terms of what's worked at places that we've seen, and hopefully get some information out of this that maybe you can use. There's we've got the top 10 list listed on our website, attendancek12.com dash top 10. Um, but I'd like to dive into a couple of those specifically. Number one, establishing an attendance team. I've been in districts in charge of attendance all too often where it's just me and maybe a secretary that's stuffing letters somewhere. Attendance, in order to improve attendance, yeah, gosh, you need a team of people. That's something that the culture of the district should really begin to adopt. And if it's something that you want to improve, and you make that decision from top down to kind of push that improvement within the buildings at the building level and the student level, then it needs to be developed by a team with folks that include not just building leaders and district leaders, but teachers and parents and students and secretaries and your positive intervention team, anybody that has anything to do with kids and that care about those kids being at school. Build a team that then begins to kind of look at things that's going to shape the policy of your district. So I think that's the first thing that needs done is kind of taking a look at who's on that team and what are the things that are important to your district. And then after you establish that team, you've got to establish your checklist, your agenda, the things that you need to accomplish with that team. It takes time. It's not something that's going to be accomplished in an hour meeting or a 3 hour admin meeting some Monday morning. It's going to take some time, and you need to identify what are those things that you need to work on. And I'd like to provide just one of those things today. I think one of the first things and one of the most important things that the team needs to tackle is both your policy and within that policy, looking at the attendance codes that exist within the district. I can't tell you how often I've looked at school districts and buildings and seen inconsistencies that exist within one district. Maybe there's 7 or 8 or 9 buildings within one school district that has inconsistencies, and even inconsistencies at the building level. One secretary is putting things in one way, another secretary is putting things in another way. It's not their fault. Um, Attendance for many years has just been an afterthought. It's been a checkbox item that districts hire somebody or outsource it to somebody to do, and it's clearly not working as we try to regain control of that student attendance and make an impact and get kids back to school. So I think one of the biggest things that I've seen is inconsistencies with policies and codes and expectations really on the stakeholders end. Um, so you can attack that, right? Get a team together and create some sort of continuity. One school may code an absence one way, while another school interprets it a little bit differently. That's just unacceptable if you're trying to improve. If attendance improvement is a district's priority, one of the first steps that you should do is conduct an audit of your attendance codes and policies, period. This ensures that everyone at the district understands what those policies are and what those codes are and how we're using them. That's going to pay dividends later when you're communicating your policy and your expectation to parents and kids, especially those families that have children in multiple buildings within your district. Can you imagine having kids in one building and kids in another building in middle school and elementary, and we're following two different policies, and the same absence, maybe my family goes on vacation, is being coded two different ways. The confusion that offers that family, or that provides that family, that's unacceptable from a district level. So really taking a look at that and making a stance, taking a stance and auditing those codes, very, very important. Key considerations for an effective audit, I think, and this is just based on my experience, and please, I know there's a lot of other strategies out there and things that people are doing, but pull all your attendance codes directly from your SIS. These are things you can do that doesn't cost any money, right? Pull your attendance codes, print those off, find out where those live within your student information system, and just take a look at what you're using in each building within your district. What's being used most often, what's never being used. And I think what you'll find out is your codes and policies have been an a la carte ad hoc item throughout the years. It's rare that you take codes out that you don't use anymore. It's common to add codes that you want. Um, Listen, it's no secret that the world over the last 20 years have changed. The world of school has changed. The culture of school has changed. And if your policies aren't reflecting that change, you're not doing your students and families any service. So print those codes out, take a look at them, establish and look for duplicates or similar codes that exist within buildings. Identify codes that no longer serve a purpose and get rid of them. All right, they don't need to live in there. Clean that up. Clarify your attendance categories, right? Ensure that all absences are tagged excused, unexcused, or medically related, right? Review whether certain absences like vacations, college visits, personal days should be reclassified within your policy, all right? And be comfortable with the decision that you make moving forward, and understand the impact that those decisions have then on that kid and that family. Balance flexibility and accountability. This is a big one, right? Within your codes, I mean, you control this with your codes. Districts often add new codes over time without revisiting old ones. All right. Align attendance codes with district priorities. What is your priority? Is your focus on improving attendance and early interventions that exist at certain points in time? And we'll talk about that in later episodes, rather than punitive measures, right? Are your codes helping identify those patterns of absenteeism before they become chronic? All right, and what do you want that language and that literature to say? What's the story of that particular student's attendance telling you? Well, if you don't have any continuity in your codes, it's going to be difficult to establish that when you're looking at the data. And I'm a huge and firm believer in making sure that data is driving the decisions that you make about your policies. You need to assign ownership. This team that you create, which is the first thing that you should do, needs to be assigned and divided up jobs, and that can't be a one-person thing, right? And it's going to take some time. You need to make sure that your team has ownership over their piece to this puzzle. All right. Why this matters as a district, if you're a district leader, a well-structured attendance policy supports not just compliance, but efficient communication with families that's consistent, and that they can understand that. Right? Nothing frustrates people more than getting an inconsistent message home about where their kid is at. Foundation work lays the groundwork for stronger parent engagement, better data, better decision making, and more effective attendance interventions. So if you're looking to improve attendance in your district, start with an audit of your codes and policies. Create a team. Look at those things. It's the easiest, cheapest, fastest step to get everybody on the same page and to begin setting a foundation where you can pull data and make decisions in your policies based on the data that you have. Good luck. We look forward to seeing you in future episodes.